Hello, Internet, and welcome to Red Jenny. We're here to play Dragon Age tonight, and we are very excited and full of anticipation for continued crimes. Thanks for joining us this lovely Monday evening to kick off the week. Before we get started and do our recap and all that stuff, let's talk about other games we've got going on the channel this week. Our next regularly scheduled stream is tomorrow. I believe that the Escape Velocity crew is going to be they're not going to be playing Escape Velocity more. I think they're going to be playing some video games or something instead. Since they had a few people that can't make it to this week's game, so there will be something going on tomorrow at 8 o'clock Eastern, but 7 o'clock Eastern, thank you. But you'll just have to join them to see what it is. Could it be some more Monster Road Trip? Could it be Monster Road Trip? I don't know what other video games they've played. That's kind of been the one that they've gone to the most.
Maybe Monster Camp.
Maybe Monster Camp. Maybe Monster Prom.
I doubt it'll be Monster Prom.
There will be monsters involved no matter what it is. So yeah, there will be something going on tomorrow. And then I think, so our next regularly scheduled TTRPG stream this week will be on Thursday, which will be returning for getting very close to the conclusion of Elegant Creatures. I think, 3 more sessions left, Sid? 3? Yeah. I'll let Sid talk more about that, but join us on Thursday for that at 8 o'clock Eastern. That one is at 8 o'clock Eastern.
That one's also at 7.
Also at 7.
This is literally the only one that's at 8 now.
This is the only one. We're old, and during the week, we need to go to bed.
Yeah, it also doesn't help that since moving over to Central Time Zone, that even more fucks up with my time scheduling. But yeah, so we'll be streaming later in the week. I think that is it as far as announcements go. So I'm going to go and turn over to my lovely players here to talk about who they are, what they do on and off this channel, and who they are playing tonight, starting with Van.
That's me. Hi, I'm Van. You can find me on the internets at Savvy Seaworth. Not posting on social media because I don't have time and it makes me tired. But I'm on Hive Social and Instagram and all those places if you want to be able to keep up with me. But mostly I'm in the GGK Discord, which you can join and come hang out. I stream on Twitch several times throughout the week. Sunday nights on twitch.tv/LBHack'emUp, playing Monster of the Week. For the next couple of weeks, I think. And then on this channel, Thursdays through Mondays, either playing games or running them. Tonight, I am playing Venehn, who is a rogue and just a real happy little guy right now. Probably the happiest one in the party. Considering he's locked in a vault with a bunch of treasure that he had like a whole hour to figure out how to steal. Yeah.
I love that for him. I really do. Hey. Yeah. Hello. I'm Christy Sid. You can find me all over the internet at Greek Sid, including on the GGK Discord. That's usually where you can find me, puttering around. I'm also here Thursdays through Mondays. As Val mentioned, I run our game of Elegant Creatures at Thursdays, 7 o'clock Eastern. We got 3 more. 3 more. We're in end games. Hopefully not end times, although that is also a possibility. But we're in the final countdown, so we'll see what happens. Come check it out. Tonight, I'm playing Yasmera. Yasmera is our Canary Rogue, and at the moment, possibly the most nervous one in the party? Yeah, quite possibly.
I agree. They are definitely the most anxious and nervous right now. I agree. Sup, y'all?
A lot on the line.
Yeah, it is a lot of lying. Sup, y'all? It's me, Wall, your favorite non-binary slime best friend on the internet. You can find me on the socials at WALE132, just like the cute little Disney robot where I'm talking about my hyper-focus of the week. This week, I am getting ready for Elimination Chamber for this weekend. Big pay-per-view is the Road to WrestleMania as the cool kids like to put it. That's what I'm thinking about this week. Tonight, though, I am playing Garas, the Elven Rogue, who is they are on very focused on a quest for vengeance, but now they have to finally do high stuff. So they had to put their vengeance quest to the side because they got to get out of a room with their new drunk friend. So let's see how that goes. Oh, and hi, Sita's mom.
Hi, Sita's mom. Real quick before I let Sita talk, Val, did you just change the colors on roll?
Yeah,
It freaked me out so
Did it?
bad.
Okay.
Whoa!
I was
wow,
They're
Whoa!
so pretty.
Whoa,
But it freaked
that's
me
so
out because all of
cool.
a sudden my screen started flickering different colors. I was scared.
I don't even see where it changed on my
The
end.
character sheets are a different theme,
Yeah.
and now the
Yeah.
buttons are green
Huh.
or blue potentially.
It's pretty.
Anyway,
Interesting.
sorry, Sita. I got scared of change.
I have pink. but that's
Story of
just
my
me.
life.
But also, hi, Jean!
Hi, Jean.
Hi,
Hi,
Jean.
Mom.
You're our biggest fan.
Hi,
and we
Internet,
love you.
And for the first time now, hi, Mom. She's not in the chat right now, but she's catching up. She's tearing through these episodes like crazy. Anyway, yeah, hi, y'all. My name's John. Sita, you can find me on the internets at Mr. Wilt. You can find me kind of lurking around in the GGK Discord. Send me a message, say hi, shout out. You can find me also every Monday playing Dragon Age with these fools, and soon you start seeing me around on some Tuesdays. Keep your eye out. There might be something going on there. You can also find me in 1 out of every 20 or so specially marked boxes of Carterios. You can get a coupon for your very own Carter, who of course is my character tonight. I will be playing Carter, a human mage, and the one potentially putting himself in the most social danger.
Like, this better be some bullshit where we gotta like collect box tops to order a Carter, where they say, "Oh, you can get a Carter
So-
inside if you send out this many box tops."
How many cans
Oh,
of
it's a
tops can I
QR
turn
code,
in for
yeah.
a Carter?
Yeah. Also, so not only are there like multiple Cetas, but there are now also like Carter clones. Is that sort of where the bit has
Well,
taken
yeah, I
us?
mean, I've been one of many mages in this group since the very beginning. We've been saying that for a minute, so why not? Yeah,
Okay.
I'm spreading out. I'm taking over.
Oh boy. Hi everyone. I'm Val. You can find me at the Kraken's Ground, lurking around the internet. I'm here Thursdays and Mondays playing running games. I run 2 games on this channel. Other than this one, I run a game on Saturdays called Ward 47, where we play Parslings, and we're getting into our first mission of season 2. The meaning of some of my new favorite characters that I've created, and which means that they will ignore them and instead focus on one of the other random NPCs that I throw in later on.
Hyman Heimerdinger.
I've been able to mitigate that for the most part by drawing characters, because I found if I put art to a character, you'll get much more attached to them than if I or am just describing them. I can sort of tweet or kind of push y'all in specific directions.
I'm a visual learner.
Yeah, and I've noticed that with all of my players. Y'all ready to get started tonight? All right. We're going to do a recap the same way we did last time because it's working out so great for this heist stuff because y'all have been keeping very good notes with the exception of Van for last
Not
session.
true. The rest of my notes for this session.
I said
are
it
really
for
good.
last session, yeah.
No,
you
my
just
notes
had-
from the hour before that are good.
Yeah. Oh, well, the hour before. Okay, yeah, because we went through 2 hours
Yeah.
last session. So let's recap. We
Yeah,
just
don't
can-
put me on blast if you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
We can start at the same, kind of do our normal order, and then people can chime in with other things. But we started out, I believe we were halfway through 9 o'clock last time. I am correct about that.
We
yeah.
started halfway through 8 to 9 because me and Yaz did our 8 to 9 stuff, and then also our 10 stuff. Or 9 to
Gotcha.
10 stuff.
Yes, yeah. Oh, sorry. We started halfway through. We started like 8:30. We started.
Yeah.
Is where we. Yeah. Okay. So, man,
Hi.
what did you get up to? What did Venehn get up
I'm
to?
gonna also partially speak for Yasmera, so Sid, jump in at any point.
You got it.
Because Venehn was following the same agent of Lady Janelle, the left hand of the divine, and went to Yaz for assistance after the agent went into the royal apartments. We went down through the kitchens and tricked a couple of guards that were standing in front of the door by locking one in a room and then telling the other one, your friend's a dumb shit.
We did break off the doorknobs as well. So.
Yeah, it was a lot of hijinks, and then I flirted with the guard to make him really flustered, and we left them and went up the stairs.
Fuckboy powers!
We went up the stairs where we weren't supposed to be. We heard a conversation between the same attendant that Ben had been following, named Arlanson, but not that Arlanson, a different Arlanson, about watching him. We still don't know who him is.
Keep an eye on him. Curious about his motivations. And we can report this back to the divine.
Yes. Said by someone. I have asterisk femme voice. And then we made a deal by having Yaz impersonate some important scholar and trading one of the forged letters incriminating Aden and Remy for a beeline to the armory. And then for the second hour, I locked myself inside the vault and stole everything I could steal and then made a hidey hole, and now I wait. So my notes, as I have shared with the group for that, say hour 4, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m., etiquette difficulty 17, stealing, waiting. That's what I did. So fuck you saying I don't take good notes. My notes are great.
Spectacular.
I don't know, Sid, if you have anything to add.
No, that was great for our parts there. Yeah, we managed to unlock the door to the armory where we left Venehn to steal. Wait. In the meantime, Yaz was gonna go back downstairs to do a couple things. Had to go get the instrument cases, where one of which is holding our forgeries of the arms so we can make the swap. And also that we made in a flashback so that we could steal a bunch of shit. So gotta get both of those upstairs. Also was sent to touch base with Wolf. Because Venehn was supposed to have a get-together with them
you're gonna touch
and trade
base.
some information, but yeah, I wonder which base. Ayo. We're not there yet, though. We're not there yet. Because, first things first, Yaz has got to get into that secret meeting. So Yaz clocked the attendant specifically to the royals up in the royal balcony, followed them back into the wine cellar, and then it rolled extraordinarily to pour a vat of wine all over this poor man, to the point that he got so upset that he quit and stormed off. Which we hope to leave him a sizable sum in probably silver bars, imperial silver later. But in the meantime, Yaz just grabbed wine and made her way up to attend to the royals up on the royal balcony.
Well, Garas got into a lot of conversations this past time. One, after seeing, what's her name? Marquise Ventilian have quite a bad shouting match with Marquise Valmont. He approached her and talked to her, found out that Marquise Valmont proposed to her. And she said, no, you suck. Your face sucks, and you suck. Everything about you sucks. And
Quote.
She said, here's 10 things I hate about you, but they were actually things that she hates about him.
Mm-hmm, exactly. And then, but after continuing the conversation and getting into, I guess, friendly graces with her, he found out that Marquise Valmont has some pretty, how can I put this, bad ties. It has some ties with the more seedy side of Val Royale, where, you know, they finding out they're unknown money. Where's it coming from? But it's coming from pretty bad methods. So that is something Garas put on the pin board to check out later on when they go back to the city. After that, they sat down for dinner and they noticed that their friend, well, new best friend, Duke Fontaine, was being super drunk. And he took this opportunity to help our dear rookie guard Remy escort them back to their apartment. And now he is locked in said drunk tank with a sleeping and passed out Duke, and he's figuring out what to do next.
Stealing, waiting.
Yeah, stealing, waiting.
Awesome. And I believe, just to clarify too, the Duke had been escorted out after berating Warden Garahel.
Yes.
Drunkenly at the start of the dinner. Carter?
Yeah. So seeing that drunken explosion and Fontaine getting taken off, Carter took that opportunity to slide himself into the table with Velmont, Garahel, and Saya. And while waiting for his chance to speak, he overheard Velmont and Garahel discussing the same sort of, it seems, kind of insidious manipulation that Velmont's trying to consolidate some power, and he had basically requested a griffin from the Grey Wardens, and Garahel was like, "Hell no, dude, we're not playing that. You can not ask that question again. Thank you very much." And Carter, under the guise of his cousin Sebastian, offered himself. And Velmont seemed intrigued by that, said, "Let's talk later." And then sometime later, near the end of the hour, much to the sensed feelings of guilt coming off of Garahel and Asaya, Arlo came up and asked if he could speak with me. And I believe that's where we left off.
That's where we left off, yeah. And you had picked up some tense emotions between Arlo and Garahel and Isaiah, as they seem to recognize each other. So yeah, that's where we're gonna pick up, and I believe we're gonna be calling this the start of the second to last hour of this. Let me get our music changed. So the bell strikes 10. And around this time, most of the plates have been cleared. The dining room is being cleared. Dessert lifted from the dessert, or half-finished desserts pulled back from the tables. And you all see, especially you, Yaz, given your current positioning, the Empress, everybody in the room stands as the Empress does, and she addresses the room confidently, clearing her throat, says, "I will be retiring for the time. I hope to see all of you off before you leave this evening, but I have some business to discuss," and gives a slight bow to the group, and everybody in the on the dining room level bows deeper in return, and she is escorted with her royal contingent off of the balcony and begins heading towards the royal apartments. Yaz, is your plan to just kind of follow along with them? Okay, we can decide who wants to go first of it. Well, for the sake of actions going on, you are kind of moving with the royal retinue.
They obviously want to have brandy and coffee and after dessert things, so just making sure that they're properly attended to in the royal apartments.
Okay. And you begin to follow along, having disguised yourself amongst them. I may have you do a roll, but again, we'll say what else is happening here. Everyone else. So, other notable kind of movements, most everyone kind of retires, heads to like the courtyard or back into the ballroom, carrying out conversations or continuing conversations from dinner. You do notice a few key figures. So the let me pull up. Duchess Janelle had been absent from dinner, as well as Marquis Mantillion. The two of them had not been present for the evening. However, Duke Montfort had been, and he actually, instead of heading out towards either the courtyard or the ballroom, heads to speak with one of the guards on the outskirts of the room, who leads him through a corridor heading off towards the royal apartments as well. Carter, you are at the table with Garahel and Isaiah and Amatis Fail. Has she been sitting at the table with you? I don't think she had. But the two of them, especially as like Arlo has mentioned for you to like let's speak and had come over to pull you away. I think at that exact moment, Garahel says, "Well, I believe that we have business as well. It was a pleasure meeting you, Marquis de Cartier. I hope to speak with you again. Please excuse us." And takes his sister's hand, and the two of them head in the same direction as Duke Montfort. So, who wants to go first?
I mean, I know what I'm about, so.
Yeah.
If nobody else wants to, I can. Probably be good to figure out what's going on with Arlo.
Yeah, let's start with Carter. That's a good place, because Carter's kind of most in the like general population mix of the group, and I think has the least like specific goal to accomplish right now.
Hang on 1 second on that. I have a puppy in here who's being very
okay. Let me see. So I guess, yeah, Venehn, we'll get to you in a minute because things are start. Did you hide last time? We hadn't done like a stealth.
We didn't do a stealth check, but I said I was hiding.
Yeah, okay, we'll probably do that at the start of the next one,
Works for
or
me.
the start of this one. Okay, so Carter, as Arlo sort of pulls you, motions for you to follow, leads out towards the courtyards, into the fresh air. The evening is cool as the sun has been set for a few hours now. You can catch the moonlight cascading down across the fountain and the cobblestone walkways between these perfectly manicured hedges, in between the moonlight peeking in through streaks of clouds, sifting through the night sky. And as you are walking, Arlo says, "Well, we're running low on time. How are things progressing?"
As I understand, the key players are in place or on their way, ours included.
Excellent. I will have everything prepared for us to make a proper departure at midnight, along with the remaining guests, and not draw any attention to ourselves. Do you need anything from me?
What do you know of Duke Valmont?
Duke Valmont. That is a very interesting point of conversation in many circles. I know that Marquis Valmont, he's not Duke.
Yeah.
Marquis Valmont has many close acquaintances within the royal court. I have not spoken with the man at length, but I don't find his company to be accommodating of me at most times. He does not seem to have much interest in me. at least directly. I have found many prying ears and eyes pointed in my direction that I believe may have been his doing, that Wolf has sorted out to me since I presented myself in Val Royeaux. But I do not know exactly his methods or his interests beyond that. It seems that he enjoys having his fingers in many pies.
What about the hero of Antiva and his sister? And as soon as I say that, I want to use my spirit sense on him.
Okay. You catch a immediately as you kind of sense his emotions, speaking or bringing them up as a topic of conversation. I think you catch panic, though he does not portray it in his voice or miss a step. He says, "I only met them tonight. I know what everybody else knows, as heroes are sung far and wide, and I have given my own accounts secondhand of the fall of Antiva and the actions of the wardens. He seems to be very well liked."
Can I? Yeah, he's talking out of his ass. Can I do a? My brain's trying to say sense motive. What's it called?
Like empathy?
Empathy? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think that's perception, right?
Is that perception or either one's the same.
Let me pull up the focuses, make sure we've got the right one here that we are using, or if there might be one that you might be
Empathy
more...
is perception.
Oh, I'm out of memory. Lovely. Hold on a second.
Because I have specifically empathy.
You do.
Fear.
Yeah. I know that empathy is perception, but I didn't know... I feel like we've discussed it before, but I didn't remember if there was something else that may be appropriate for this sort of thing. I'd also give this... Okay, so this specific instance... you could use empathy perception, or empathy perception, or you could do investigation communication would be another one, because that is interviewing people for information and finding and deciphering clues. You are specifically interviewing him kind of in this moment, whether he knows it or not, so that might be appropriate as well. The information that you get from like an empathy versus investigation may be a bit different, but
well, I don't have a focus in either one of those, and those are both perception, or was investigation cunning?
No, investigation is communication.
Oh, communication. Okay, well then I'm actually better at the empathy, weirdly, so I'm gonna roll with that. I got an 11 with 2 stunt points.
Okay. How do you want to spend your stunt points?
Doodly do.
I will roll contested deception for Arlo.
There's only 2 points. I'm not gonna.
Okay. Arlo rolled a 12. So not much better, but enough. And oh, sorry, I guess that would have been a 14, not a 12. So he's hard to read on this. Like, again, you're getting that emotion from him with your magical senses, and so you know that he's not telling you everything. But as far as like picking up any external clues, he's very well practiced at this and at lying, and you can tell that in this moment.
Yeah, that's fine. I guess I know enough. Like my suspicions don't need to be confirmed in that sense. Okay, then I'll just thank him for his information and ask him if there's anything else I can do for him.
Says, no, I just wanted to get an update. Pass that along to Wolf. Just in case anything goes wrong. It seems that the others have wormed their way in to the social circles one way or another. Do you know why Yasmera is acting as a serving hand for the Empress?
My suspicion would be to put herself in a advantageous position near her arms.
Right. Well,
I trust my companions. You should as well.
and I do. I will. I nearly choked on my wine when I saw her up there. It seemed a very public place for her to be on display, but I trust that you all have good reason and that your plan is sound. So, I will be my duties as court bard, court musician, are currently done for the evening, so I will be making pleasant conversation with anyone who will speak with me. And if you should need anything from me, you can find me in the ballroom.
I will be doing much the same, perhaps out here in the courtyard.
It's a pleasure speaking with you, Marquis de Cartier, and I hope to do so again soon. And gives a slight bow and turns on his heel.
I guess at that point I'm just going to wait for Belmont.
Okay, I'm not going to count that as your action because Arlo did pull you away, and that was my own doing. So we will count your conversation. Well, we will do some of the others, but I'll count Valmont as your main action for the evening, if that is where you want to go.
Each.
Okay, cool. Alrighty-o. So my three little thieves. Who wants to go first?
I can go first.
Okay.
So Garas is in this room with a passed out Duke Fontaine, and he hears the chimes for 10 o'clock. He looks at the Duke, and he looks at the door. He looks at the Duke again, and he's like, "You can steal from his pockets later. Handle the job first." And he goes to the front door, and he cracks it open to see if Remy is still there.
Yes. Addendum Remy is still. He's not standing like blocking the door. Essentially, he's like. As you kind of crack open the door a little bit and peer out, you can see the outline of him a little bit down the hall.
He's on
there.
his phone.
Yeah, he's on his phone
Candy
texting.
Crush.
Yeah, playing Candy Crush. He's got a really good streak going right now. He is. He's just sort of leaning, like that. Again, that guard lean where he doesn't look like he's leaning against the wall, but from this angle you can tell it's just kind of like leaning back against it a little bit to take some pressure off his feet.
Got it. Doing the Disney lean. Got it.
Yeah.
He will open the door and step out of the room and head on over to Remy. But actually, no, he doubles back into the room. And is there like wine bottles in here?
There would have to be. Yes.
Right.
This is still an Orlesian residence. There's liquor and wine in here.
He grabs a bottle of wine and steps out of the room and heads on over to Remy. Excuse me. Just
you can see him kind of, again, doesn't start, but kind of leans for a little bit to be standing on his feet and turns to you and says, "Oh, your Highness, how can I help?"
Just let you know that my friend, he is out. He is asleep. He is fine. Just saying that it's 10 o'clock. I mean, I don't see a reason why you could just, clock off for the night. I mean, I think you've done a lot of work for the evening.
Looks back towards the room. Says, I was charged with keeping an eye on Duke Fontaine and ensuring that his safety.
I can assure you, he is safe, he is fine, he is just, glug, glug, glug,
Make a, this is definitely a communication.
Okay.
I guess persuasion?
Okay.
Because you're not really deceiving him. He is
No.
fine.
Yeah. That is a 18.
That's really good.
I'll make no stunts though.
That's fine. That rolls plenty. You, as you say this, you just catch like the slightest like relaxation of his shoulders, under his pauldrons, and he says, "Right, I should report this to my captain anyway, as you said. I doubt there's any danger here."
If you want, I can speak on behalf of you. I will even give your captain a shining commendation about you, that you have not only was able to remove a very, very stressful situation from the dinner party, but you stayed here all night long and you watched over the Duke to make sure they were okay.
He kind of thinks on that for a moment. I think he moves past you a little bit just to like open the door and peer in, and you just catch like a the drunk snoring.
Make sure he's not on his back. He might have sleep apnea.
Yeah, no, he's lying on his side in this again Shane's lounge, and closes the door again. He says, "You'd really give a good word for me with my captain."
Of course I will.
All right.
Also, yeah. And he hands him the bottle of wine. Here, why don't you go relax for the evening?
He
Consider it my thanks to you for helping out my dear friend.
he kind of looks down the hall, takes the bottle, takes like a few very big chugs of it, and then hands it back, says, "I can't return with that in hand, but I appreciate it.
Look, I didn't see shit.
It was a pleasure speaking with you, Duke
Duke Venehn La Croissant.
Le Croissant. Right. I appreciate your assistance. I will return to whatever duties are left to me tonight, and well, I appreciate the advice."
Of course. He like pats him on the shoulder. You're doing a great job. Believe me, you are.
Thank you. And he gives a kind of clicks his heels together, and then turns and heads down the hall.
Venables then slide back into the room. Look at the Duke. Like, time to steal.
I like that you're still calling yourself Venehn to yourself.
Yeah. He'll slide back into the room and like, okay, time to steal from the
Why
Duke.
not just name Fontaine Fontina and you're all named after fucking food? Like, why not?
He leave, or you go back in and you like start patting down the Duke just to see if there's anything good. He doesn't carry any coin on him. He's not a peasant. But he has people that pay for things for him. Why would he carry money?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
He does have some nice jewelry though.
I will take the jewelry and
Okay.
stuff it into my bucket.
You pull off a couple of his rings. There's like a nice like brooch on his lapel that you take. Yeah, you get some swag.
I'm seeing the scene from the cartoon Robin Hood.
Yes,
Kissing the
exactly
king's
what I was
rings
thinking
and
of.
stealing all the gems out of them.
That's
Yeah.
exactly where my brain went.
Yeah. I'm not gonna have you roll for any of that because he is so out right now. You get some nice loot from him. Um, is there anything else? Are you heading anywhere right now? That would probably be
Um,
your action for your first action for this evening, but or for this
um,
hour.
he will head back to the ballroom after that to wait out the rest of the hour.
Okay, which I believe is where Carter you were heading to.
All right. No, I was going to be out in the courtyard.
In the
outside.
courtyard. Okay. I didn't know if you were in the
Yeah.
courtyard or ballroom. Okay, cool. So while that is happening, let's do Venehn first, and then we'll go to Yaz. Because I think Yaz is gonna be a little more involved.
Okay.
So Venehn,
Hi.
where do you're in a vault right now.
Uh-huh.
You've stashed some stuff away near the entrance to the vault for easy escape afterwards. Where do you see yourself hiding?
Inside a suit of armor. You gave me a week to think about it.
Oh my god, so you're gonna full on Scooby-Doo this?
Yes.
Okay, sure. There are a couple of suits of armor that are unused and on their displays. So I imagine Venehn. Does Venehn know how to put on armor?
Yeah.
Okay, I just didn't know if you've done if Venon's.
He wears
familiar with
armor, not like heavy stuff, but yeah, he's
you
familiar.
get the general gist. You're putting this on for show, not necessarily for.
All I gotta do
use.
is stand still.
You're also a pretty slight man.
They won't see me in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you managed to get yourself into this armor, but your feet don't barely reach the bottom of the of the legs, and so you're kind of up on your tippy toes, and this is a big suit of armor that you can fit into, but you're just kind of scarecrowing it right now. It's not a comfortable position.
No.
And as you sort of get yourself sort of positioned in there, shortly after hearing the bells chime, you begin to hear a bit of commotion out in the hall. Even through the heavy door, you can still hear bits and footsteps approaching, conversation. You hear a sort of a deep, kind of gruffer voice speaking to a number of footsteps that are out there. This carries on for a little bit as you're sort of holding yourself there, and then you hear a sort of a clunking sound of the gate being opened. And then there's another, you hear the sound of a key in the door immediately into this room as it turns, and the doorway is pulled open, and you see two figures stepping inside.
Okay.
One of them is a woman that you have seen previously. She was one of the guards that escorted off Duke Fontaine earlier this evening, and the other is a gentleman that looks a little older, probably middle-aged, maybe in his late 40s, early 50s, and the two of them are in conversation, and you hear the woman, as she comes in, she pulls off her helmet. She says, "Can you believe it? What happened back there? I've never seen Duke Fontaine getting that drunk." And the man says, "Oh, you weren't here for the gala three summers ago. It was an affair. I believe he came running into the ballroom with drapery from the foyer around his shoulders, proclaiming himself the new emperor." And
You gotta be friends with this one particular rich person.
I am gonna milk this relationship.
And she laughs at that, and they both begin to detach their armor, putting it away in their kind of own little armor stands in there. I'm gonna go ahead and have you make a stealth check.
That's a 20.
Damn, that's very good.
I have a
Yeah.
lot
You are
in
perfectly
stealth.
frozen, muscles tensed as you're holding yourself in here.
Imagine
The
Venehn can hold his breath for like 5 minutes or something. Like,
and you're just peering
Gosh, I
out through
wonder
the
why.
visor of this helm, and you can see just this like panoramic view of the room, and the two guards begin to again doff their armor. And continuing to converse. The woman finishes first, and having her armor away, takes the two halberds and places them in their respective holders to your right, kind of brushing like very close to you. And as they are kind of conversing, there's another set of footsteps that you hear coming down the hall. And one more guard enters this room. You see him pull off his helm immediately, sort of mid-length blonde hair spilling out underneath, fairly younger looking guard. You've seen him before. This is the one you're assuming is the Den and Remy. Fairly handsome man, but with maybe two kind of his features a little bit wider. Is like very close to being attractive, but kind of like on that cusp. And he has a very kind of like sweat like beading on the sides of his face from wearing the helmet for so long. His hair kind of a mess, and she turns and says, Adenin, I thought you were supposed to watch the Duke. And he looks at her a bit sheepishly, says, well, I was, and he's fine. I stayed there for the last hour and a half. He's perfectly fine. Sleeping like a baby. And she says, the captain explicitly said for one of us to remain outside. I left you there specifically to watch him. If you can't follow orders, then why are you even in this position? And the man from the other room says, kind of as he is finished taking off his armor, is like pulling off his breastplate, and says, it's fine, Livia. It's like young Remy said, the Duke is going to be perfectly fine for the evening. No assassins are going to come to dispatch his royal drunkenness, and putting his armor away, and turns to face Remy and says, still, you're the one that's going to have to explain that to the captain later when he asks why you weren't at your post. And Remy says, yes, Tiberius, I will. There was somebody else watching him anyway, Duke, La Croissant, I believe. You see Tiberius.
And then almost laughs.
You see Tiberius sort of, his brow furrows, and he says, Duke La Croissant. What sort of ridiculous name is that? And Livia laughs and says, I don't know half the people attending these galas anymore. They're all just hang-ons and brown-nosing for their own bit of success. It's fine. And so they begin to carry on their conversation. Remy goes and puts his halberd up and doffs his armor. And Tiberius, before he leaves, the two of them, says, right, well, our next post begins in 6 hours, so get what rest you can. And he leaves while the other two finish. And Livia begins to head out as well as Adenin is finishing. He says, please don't forget to lock the door this time. And he sort of winces a bit at that. He says, I didn't have the key. Yes, I will lock. And she leaves as well. Remy finishes his business, putting away his his armor, and then he turns around the room and he walks straight up to the suit of armor that you are sitting, or you are inside of Venehn. And he sort of, almost like there's a moment where you feel like he's almost making eye contact with you. One day. All right. And then he turns and leaves. The door closes.
I thought he was gonna look in the reflection and fix his hair or something.
No can do, buckaroo.
And
sorry, your family's rich. I gotta ruin your life.
the door closes, and you hear the lock click on the other side, and then the gate closes as well. But you are now alone in here.
Garas is never going to believe that. La croissant.
That's only 3, though. You got 2 more that might be wandering in.
There's 6 in total.
3 more, sorry.
I'll wait for a while.
Yeah, I mean, you wait a bit. You don't catch any other signs of anyone for a while.
Okay. Then I'm getting ready to go. I'm
Okay.
like, halberds like at the ready, like, because I imagine they're like, are they hanging or they're just like, I don't know. I imagine they're like fastened to the wall in some way.
Yeah, there's essentially like there's a wooden bar across the bottom with little divots. It's kind of like how you put up like a pull stick.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Like,
So I don't have to like
that's-
undo anything.
No, they're not fastened.
Yeah, so I've got all my stuff squirreled away and I'll extricate myself from my super good hiding place and just get ready to... I guess I'm going to start working on the lock again.
Okay.
Would probably be the other thing.
Okay.
So I can
well,
just
you can
pop it open when Yasmera gets here.
You can that we would count that your second action if you wanted to try to do that this hour. But we'll do something else first while you consider whether you want to push it to do that or if
Okay.
you want to like wait a little bit
Mhm.
until the heat dies down. So yes, let's do your action. You are being led along with the royal sort of contingent. If you imagine following as close to the back as possible. There's a bit of conversation going on in the front between the Empress and some of the other attendings. Nothing important, just discussing the dinner and the wine and all that stuff. Boring nobility talk. How they reach the end of the hall, and the guard captain that is currently escorting her sort of stops as she does, and she looks to her other attendees and gives a polite farewell and says, I must attend to some business and I will speak with you later, all right? Please try to converse a little bit more with our guests and don't retire too early. And she turns to there are a couple, I imagine there's a couple of children. You imagine this is like her family that's with her, and she gives like like kisses the child on the head, and the others head out or kind of either back to the gala. The kids are ushered by some of the serving staff up the stairs, and you're kind of in a weird place where like some of the serving staff are going one way, some are going another, like they know what they're doing. What are you trying to do, Yaz, in this moment?
Probably following any of the serving staff that still look like they've got food or desserts, or at least in some way going somewhat toward the royal apartments for the
Like
night.
heading along with the with the Empress.
Yes.
Okay. So I think as you're kind of hanging back with the few that are staying, you see Luder, Captain Stoiber, his head turns towards the serving staff and he looks across them, and then his eyes lock onto you. And he says, "Where's Reginald?"
He left in quite a hurry, sir.
To what purpose?
I honestly would rather not say, for it's not. I don't think it appropriate to quote his exact words in polite company.
You can see the Empress like raises an eyebrow and looks up towards the guard captain, and he shakes his head and says, "I understand. Clear enough. Your name?"
Federa, sir.
Are you to fill in for Reginald?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna go ahead and have you make a deception check.
Okay.
I heard that F as like a harder V sound, and I was like, if you also say your name is Venehn, we're gonna be having a really
I
good
swear
time.
to God. No. That's really good. 6, 5, 3. That's 14 plus 2. 18. No stunts.
He eyes you over for a long time.
Kind of eyes to the ground, respectfully.
Very well. Begin to prepare coffee as soon as we arrive in the ballroom.
Yes, sir.
And the Empress turns to her guard captain and says, "May we go now?" He says, "Yes, Your Majesty." And she leads forward with the captain following, and you along with a couple other of the serving staff following along as well. And they head up the stairs. So you had initially gone to that foyer of the royal apartments. They follow that staircase that kind of wraps around this sort of cylindrical room to the second level, and the guard captain immediately opens a door for the Empress as she heads in, and you enter this large sort of dome-shaped room with a spread of windows on the far wall that seem to look out over the palace below. The center of the room is a large sort of circular table with a map diagram on top of it of the continent, and the around the table there are a number of chairs around the room. There's stacks of correspondence, papers, things like that. Lots of documentation here. And as the Empress steps in, you also see a number of other faces in the room already waiting for her presence. Most of them standing as she enters. You see Duke Montfort and Duchess Janelle on the left and right hand of the divine. You see also Garahel, Isaiah, and Amatus Vale currently present. They were engaging in some conversation, which seems to stop as soon as she enters.
We'll follow the lead of some of the other servants to prepare some coffee.
Okay. They begin like polite conversation. As they're kind of gathering around the room, you follow some of the other servants around the outskirts as they kind of head. There's a door off to one side, which seems to lead kind of circles back down towards the kitchens. And you are able to like scamper down that and back up to bring coffee as they're all begin to sit around this table and converse. Most of their conversation right now as you're coming in and out of the room to serve them is centered around dinner and their travels and the Empress sort of addressing each one of them in turn, and because she hasn't had much time to speak with most of them this evening. Garahel politely says that how much he appreciates the Empress's kind words earlier in the evening towards the plight of the Wardens and the Antevans. So there's a lot of kind of casual conversation. And as you have served coffee to everyone in this room, a few taking it, some politely declining, the serving staff kind of all stands at attention near the door, and the guard captain, who has been standing towards the outskirts of the room while everybody else is serving, looks to you and the three of you and says, yes, you are dismissed. We will call if there's anything further that we need.
Nods with the rest of the serving staff, lets them exit, and is the last one to leave and close the door.
Okay.
But not close it all the way.
Okay.
Just a little crack in the door.
So you're gonna try to kind of hang out on the stairwell to listen in?
I'm gonna go back like with the rest of the servants, and yes, then double back and
Okay, and
attempt
double
to
back.
sort of. Mhm.
Okay. But you have found this passage. The servants head to the they head to the bottom of the stairs and begin to wander off. And you kind of like hang back a little bit, losing a bit of distance from them until they round a corner when you stop, and then hang back. Okay.
Try to look at attention as if like waiting to be called,
Okay.
but definitely listening.
All right. We'll get to the rest of your action here in a bit, because I assume there's some other stuff you want to do. So that is everybody's main actions for the round. Who wants to push it?
I didn't do my thing with Belmont.
Oh, right. You need your normal action. Right. Okay. So, Carter, we're going to do yours, and then everybody can decide who they want to push. So, Carter, you're waiting out in the courtyard in the cool evening air, and you hear a click of a cane approaching from the ballroom as Marquis Valmont steps out into the courtyard. He's conversing with somebody politely, and then sort of breaks off, excusing himself, and heads up to you. And he stops for a moment, just long enough to say, "Would you walk with me? My leg is growing stiff."
He'll bow and say, "Of course, Your Grace."
Please, on equal footing.
Sebastian's a comte.
Oh, you did compt, not marquis. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. He says, "Thank you," and begins to step out into the courtyard, kind of following the narrow line of hedges that circles around the outside of this fountain. And as he walks slowly, keeping a very leisurely pace, he speaks and says, "Your name, Decantier, correct?"
Yes.
I did not imagine that there was another Decantier mage within the family. The only one I was familiar with was positioned in Orlais.
It is uncommon, but not unheard of. My cousin, I believe, is whom you speak of.
Yes.
It is my understanding that he has disappeared. An apostate now, most likely. He was always too afraid.
I had last heard that he had been made... Oh shoot, I just lost the word.
Tranquil.
Tranquil.
Well, I am not long returned from the wilderness. I had been lost for many years across the other side. Even once the war ended, it took a turn to Orlais. The fate of dear Andros is beyond me.
And I'm sure that's a black mark on your family that you would prefer to see scrubbed clean. Better to be dead in a gutter than causing trouble for you elsewhere.
It is a slight advantage, my position. As the only member left of my family, I may begin anew. And if it pleases you, Your Grace, I believe our discussion was to be about that business.
Yes. Apologies, I try to stay abreast of all newcomers and returners alike within my city.
No apologies are necessary.
Business, then. What arrangements are you seeking?
As I said, it is my understanding that you need added protection for your supply lines. I would like to offer myself first. And when I have earned enough money to re-establish my family home and a proper retinue of soldiers, we can discuss them as well.
I suppose your reason for approaching me on this has to do with my own attempts to leverage a contract with the Ruby Drakes. Are you seeking to strike a better deal than I would make with them?
As I said, the Ruby Drakes are a fine company, and I am but one man. I do not seek to replace their illustrious forces. Not at least until I have my own.
He stops and turns to look at you and says, "So you are not offering soldiers, but yourself to this endeavor?"
I am a man of war. I am hard of heart, and I believe that that is what is required to navigate the world in these trying times. You strike me as a similar soul, we could say. I believe that our not partnership, our agreement could carry us very far.
Let's do. What do you feel at a persuasion or deception?
Um, they are again the same for me.
Okay. Is
Yeah.
there something else you were pushing for, or is
The only communication role I have any advantage to is etiquette, but I don't think unless I've been real polite and you want to let me roll that one, I don't know if that quite
Well,
fits.
that's like playing the game too, though. Like
yeah?
knowing the right things to say.
Let me read for etiquette. Etiquette is knowing the social niceties of various cultures. Persuasion increasing. Yeah, I don't know if you could do deception here. Let me do persuade. I'll let you have etiquette. Fuck it.
Cool.
I know you just picked that up. Might as well get used to it.
Uh,
Get used of it.
Fancy. All right. Then I got a 10 with 2 stunt points.
Okay. Is there something you want to use those stunt points for?
Bugger.
I can bring up the.
Is save my own ass a role-playing stunt? I don't think it is.
Where are the roleplay stunts?
Can you
Show
phone a
party.
friend?
I'm going to do
Because you could do and another thing. And
I think
attempt to
that's
make
what I'm
another
going to
check.
try to do, and I'm going to. Okay, because I just talked about being a hard heart, and I think he's a hard heart, and maybe I could slip in a little bit more double speak in that situation, referring to how a hard heart might not be as squeamish or particular about the business necessary, you know.
Okay.
And maybe that might distract them a little bit.
This one I'm going to say is perception. I'll give you another roll, or persuasion. I'm going to give you another roll, but you won't get your etiquette bonus.
Do better. 10.
Okay, so another 10 total.
Yeah.
Okay. He you've stopped it, that you were stopping and kind of speaking to as you're giving this pitch. You can see his brow kind of furrow and his like a bit of a sneer forms, and he continues to walk, kind of making you catch up with him a little bit as he begins to speak. And he says, I'm not sure I could use your assistance, or your expertise would be best put towards the business that I am currently engaging in. However, you have piqued my interest on another matter. I have other arrangements within Valrio that I believe that you might be beneficial towards assisting if you are truly as much of a man of action and of substance as you claim.
And these are?
I prefer to speak in a more private context and give you a demonstration.
Perhaps back in the city, then.
Yes. Will you be traveling to Valrail?
Yes.
Where might I call upon you?
He'll give the name of an expensive tavern.
Okay.
Again,
like a high-end like establishment for
yeah, but like
visiting.
also like not opulent, not super fancy. And he'll say, as I have said, I am shortly returned from a war already ended. My means are meager at the moment.
We will need to find you better lodgings then. Very well. I will call upon you once I have returned and had opportunity to rest, and we will discuss our business further in the city.
I look forward to it.
As do I. If you'd excuse me, I have a few loose ends to tie up this evening before we conclude the night's festivities.
Of course, Your Grace. Enjoy your evening. And he'll turn around and leave. Can I get I'm using the shit out of this fucking ability. Can I get a spirit sense off of him real quick before I go?
I mean, do it. The hardest part is coming up with names for these emotions.
Is he just interested? Or a little suspicious?
I think you catch a little bit of suspicion. I know it's supposed to be like one word, but there's no way I can summarize this in one word. You catch a little bit of suspicion, and a bit of like intrigue, like interest. Like it's kind of a blend of the two.
All right.
So you've definitely got him on the hook, but he doesn't trust you.
That's good enough for me.
Okay.
For now.
Boy, where's the time go? All right, everybody has done one action. who wants to do a second? I will remind you. I know Yaz wants to. I will remind you, we are at 10 o'clock. The difficulty right now is 19.
But it goes back down to 17 next hour?
Yes.
Cool. I'm chilling.
All right. Who has a point of ire right now?
Just Carter.
Is it just Carter? Damn, y'all are doing great.
The difficulty is going back down.
It'll go down to 17 next hour. But next hour is the last hour. So...
Next hour
I'll wait.
as well. Yeah, I was about to say, Venehn, next hour is when I'm going to be able to bring you stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe
I
that's
think
the best
next
time.
hour, final hour, I'm going to do 2 actions, and it's pop the vault open and then get the fuck out.
All right. So is Yaz the only one doing a second one?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yaz, let's roll that etiquette.
Unless Garas wants to, like, bring me a snack or something.
Am I aware that Ben is in the vault right now?
I mean, Venehn did tell you that was sort of the ultimate plan.
No.
You know what? If you wanna set up the idea that Garrus would know that. I mean, here's the thing. If you want to set up the idea that Garrus knows and Garrus could go and get over there and start working on the lock or something, we could do that. We could do a flashback.
I
Can
would say
you
it's, but
make a 19 etiquette check?
if it's not against nobles, I probably can't. So I'm not even gonna push it.
But if you don't have a point right now, then your
There would only be
penalty
1 point
isn't
of
that bad. It's just
That's
a
true.
1 point penalty for it's a negative
Anything
1 penalty.
social.
for
Okay,
anything
you know
social.
what?
It's totally up to you.
Yes, I'm gonna push that and bring Ben in a snack.
Okay, so we're
Start
gonna do
working on
2
the
things then. So Yaz, go to make your roll.
Trip 6s.
Oh my god! And what's your plus to?
It's only a 2. I needed
So
it
you barely-
really high. I needed it really high.
That's a 20,
Let's
right?
That's a 20.
Go.
Damn.
Oh my god.
Well, you get some. No, we can't stun on etiquette rolls on these rolls, but that's
Can you stunt on a 666?
not on these. I specifically set up on these. You can't.
Can
stun.
Can she get something?
I get to go do my stealth
For
roll on
special-
like the
You're gonna get to
most
do your
important fucking
Special
thing.
Yeah.
666 luck? Okay. It's respect is what you get.
You get
A
our
point of respect.
for the hot hand. All right, I want to set up before we move to that. Garrus, you actually no, we'll do Garrus's flashback and stuff probably right after the break. But let's finish Yaz's here and put a button on this, and then we'll conclude the hour with Garrus. We'll come back.
I'm assuming I would also probably need to make a stealth roll here.
Yes. So at this point, you are sneaking back up the stairs and trying to listen in on this conversation. I won't have you roll for perception. I will say
Okay.
this is mostly the key component of this is stealth. Is not being heard as you are listening in.
Okay. So we're going to do the stealth. Okay. Which is... Okay. Go. Still pretty good. 4, 2 is 12. Plus 6 is 18.
All right, 18. You
And
slink-
that's... No stunts.
You slink up the stairs quietly, getting to the slight landing up here that leads into the where the door is slightly cracked.
Trying to be quiet, but also like if someone were to walk in or like holler out or something, wanting to look like I'm waiting to attend if needed.
Yeah, so sort of like standing like against the wall and less like crouching by the door looking in through the keyhole. Okay.
Exactly.
So you hear the voices, but you don't necessarily see who is speaking. But I think you've heard most of these people enough to recognize their voices at this point. You hear them speaking. You seem to be like catching them a little bit into how they've begun their conversation, and says, and you hear Garahel being to speak, says, ultimately, what we are asking for here, and I need to impress that though I am here alone, I do represent the wardens as an entirety. We need to end the siege on Hossberg as quickly as possible, and only through the backing of the Crown, the Chantry, the Templars. Only with the sufficient forces can we even hope to ending this siege. So I'm begging, imploring. I will kneel down on this floor right now, if it helps to impose my sincerity in asking for this. We need your assistance, and we need it soon. There's a bit of a hush over the room, and you hear another voice speaking, which you can assume, based on the attendance here, it doesn't sound like the Empress. It's probably Duchess Janelle, who says,
Does it sound similar to the female voice that we heard earlier talking?
Does.
Okay.
Yeah, as she speaks and says, we understand your need, Warden, and we understand the threat that the Blight poses on all Thedas and not just Antiva. This will spread, and we are preparing our borders to deal with the threat and withstand the Blight as much as possible. However, we are also aware that you have not been entirely forthright with your own information that you have provided this evening. I have it on good authority that the death of the Antivan royal family was not brought upon by the Dockspawn incursion, in fact had begun during the siege itself. Is this true? And there's a bit of a pause, and you can hear Garahel clearing his throat. He says, Your Highness is correct. We have not made the matter public, but yes, there was a coup. The royal guard turned on the family and struck them down. We attempted to stop the incursion, but was to stop the coup as quickly as possible, but it diverted too much of our forces, eventually leading to the downfall of Antiva. It is not something that I would approve, that I would like to be made public. However, you can understand the sensitivity of the matter, and those who are responsible, you can be assured, have either met a just end or are being pursued as we speak. Another hush falls over the room, and Duchess Janelle speaks again and says, Her Holiness has concerns about the same fate befalling our city if we spread our resources too thin, and that Your Highness would be at risk that same unrest and those same seeds of turmoil, of chaos, will be sown within our very walls. If we extend our forces too far, the people will notice, and they will begin to fear for their own safety. And you hear Duke Montfort speak. It says, I agree with the Duchess's point, and I am in agreement that the Chantry cannot extend its forces. We are still recovering from the attack within our very city against the tower. I fear that the Templars are still recovering from this and ordering any of them to relinquish their post and to move to the front lines to aid in the siege would be a risk that we cannot afford. I do not speak for Her Imperial Highness, of course, but this is where the Chantry stands on this matter. We cannot aid you in the siege. We can provide resources and armaments, food, but that is all we can provide. And you hear Garahel say, but surely, Your Highness, I can't, and then is interrupted as you hear the Empress begin to speak and says, I have also considered this matter fully, and I'm afraid my answer will be much the same, Garahel. We cannot commit a sizable force to this effort. The amount of soldiers that we would be willing to send would not be enough to help end the siege, and I fear would only seek to weaken our own efforts to protect our borders. I truly do feel and empathize with the plight of Antiva. However, our own safety and the safety of the Orlesian citizenry has to be my top priority. Again, with the we will provide what the Chantry will as well, provide resources to aid in the siege, whatever else you might need, but I cannot send forces to assist you. And you hear Garahel begin to speak again, and a bit louder this time he says, I appreciate your generosity, my lords and ladies, but food and weapons do not win war without soldiers to wield them and eat them. We need bodies. We don't need resources nearly as much. Without the forces without soldiers to break the siege, we are doomed to fail. It is merely a stopgap to you would only be feeding dying men. And there's a longer pause that overtakes the room, and the Empress speaks again and says, I'm afraid that is our decision, Garahel. We can make arrangements for transports, and we will send soldiers to accompany them so they reach your walls safely. However, we cannot give you the forces that you are requesting. As the conversation continues, Yasmera and Garahel continues to plead with them to his case. You hear something else. You hear footsteps from beneath you as somebody appears to be coming down the hall towards the staircase that you are currently standing on. What do you do?
Find a shadow and hide in it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say on this landing, there is like a slight alcove with like drapery like in front of a window, and using the same stealth check as before, you duck behind that and into the windowsill, kind of cutting off being able to hear the conversation, and you hear slow footsteps coming up the steps, along with a clicking. As ascending the staircase slowly, and then standing near the doorway, just within sight to listen, you see Marquis Valmont.
Can I kill him?
And that's where we're going to take our break.
I meant that seriously. Can I kill him?
That's my kill!
You're
It is
also
on like a kill steal streak.
here.
This on Saturday.
you imagine that might make some noise out here that they might hear inside. So if you want to do that, go for it. But that will be difficult to do quietly. Let's go ahead and take our break here.
I don't know. He just died.
He died. Oh my gosh, he
Oh my
died.
God, he died.
With a crossbow coral sticking out of his forehead.
I don't know. He just died.
Still holding the
Just
crossbow.
died right there.
He died.
Hey, Marquis, does this smell like chloroform?
All right, break time, y'all. So we'll be going away for a couple minutes, everyone. Recommend you take a break as well. Stretch your legs, do some jumping jacks, whatever you can do. We will be back here very shortly to conclude our session. So we'll see you very soon. Bye-bye. Welcome back, Internet. Thanks for hanging out with us while we took our break. We're going to jump right back into things. So, where we left off, Yaz has just witnessed Valmont catching the tail end of this meeting at the top of the servants' stairs. Seems to be listening in for a little bit. So everybody's taking their primary action, and Yaz has taken the second action for the evening. Yaz, was there anything else? Did you want to do anything?
I think what runs through Yaz's head is how good of a shot she could take in the darkness that would kill him instantly with no noise. And then how quickly she could get down the stairs before someone ran out from the thud of his body on the floor, realizing even though she's good, she's not that good, and instead pouts behind the curtain waiting for him to leave.
Okay. He doesn't stick around for very long. He kind of listens in for a couple minutes of the conversation. And you can see, I'd say, a slight smile. And then he heads back down the stairs.
I think at this point, Yaz will do the same.
All right. Did anybody else have any actions for this hour?
I gotta go find Wolf too, but I've already done another action, so I'll wait for 11.
Okay. Well, yeah, this is oh no, okay, yeah. No, that was 10. We're at 11. Right. So we're about to enter our final hour then, everyone. So the bell chimes in the distance, signaling another hour pass as attendees begin to wane in either their social graces or interest in the night's festivities. You're saying that towards the end of the hour you had left and we're heading back.
Yes, I went back downstairs and then I'm going straight for where the cases are, and I'm taking the back staircases and bringing them on up.
Okay. Is anyone else in the ballroom currently?
I know I went back to the ballroom.
Okay, so you were waiting in the ballroom for this last.
I also wanted to return to the ballroom.
Okay.
And I wanted to say too, I'm going to keep my actions for this last hour pretty. I might not end up doing anything. I think I want to be reactive. I'm going to wait near the top of the stairs, and just in case I sense that some kind of distraction needs to be made, I'm going to fall down the stairs.
Okay. in the ballroom. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think as Carter, you're waiting, and Garas, you're around the perimeters of the room too. So the notable attendees return to the ballroom. I think the left and right hand of the divine return first, kind of taking their separate ways, returning to their entourages, engaging in polite conversation. Garahel and Isaiah, as well as a modest veil, enter the room. I mean, it's very easy for you to tell, Carter, and probably not too hard for Garrus to tell that they're not really in great spirits right now. Seem to be a bit frustrated. They kind of make some kind of reject politely some of the attendees coming up to speak with them, and they actually head outside, out the kind of up the stairs and out through the foyer again, like they're going out to the entrance of the palace. So you aren't sure if they're leaving, but they're at least stepping outside. The Empress enters along with Guard Captain Stoiber, and she is actually sort of escorted through by Stoiber and the other one of the other royal guards currently on duty. And she actually heads out to the grand apartments. You kind of in Garrus, you would notice she's heading in the direction of where where Duke Fontaine was, his room where he was put. And I think those are the main movements going on right now. Oh yeah, okay. No, the left and right hands of the divine are currently speaking together. They are in the ballroom. They go up to the second floor to speak. So that is where things are currently. However, we have your mission currently ongoing. So I know Yaz has moved for her action to the vault. Is anyone else going to the vault? Or sorry, Yaz, you were going to get the cases and then head to the vault. Is anyone else heading that way?
Garas is going to head to the vault and do what he can to try to pick the lock to help Venehn get out.
Okay, so is your action essentially heading there to get the doors open before Yaz gets there with the cases?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We'll do Garrus's action first then, since I think that would be probably most important. Unless, Venehn, you wanted to start working on the lock from the inside, on the interior door?
Yep.
Okay. So I'll have you both make lock-picking checks.
And that
You
is
botched
plus,
the first one, you can re-roll, just
that's
as a
a
reminder.
plus, what again?
Dexterity.
Dexterity? Okay.
Yeah. There's a specific lock-picking
Okay.
focus. So dexterity if you don't have lock-picking.
Ooh, double sixes and a 5, that's 20.
We're on fucking fire,
And that's 6 stun
friends.
points.
I don't trust it at all.
I've rolled a 15, but if that's a failure, I get to reroll.
No, for the interior door, that's fine. Because Garrison's working on the outside
Sweet.
door, and the 20 is what you needed.
Sweet.
So Garrus, you sort of you slink out of the room and find this corridor, kind of taking a knee and beginning to work on the lock. And I think at the exact same time, the two of you open your locks and open the door. As you open the gate, the door to the inside opens, and Venehn is standing there.
We both do finger guns at each other.
Hey,
Hey!
come look at all this cool stuff.
What is in here? Oh my
Well,
goodness.
I got I just go over to my little goblin horde and I just push it out a little bit.
Oh my goodness, this is so much stuff. I robbed the Duke while he was asleep because, why wouldn't I do that?
Of course. Oh, also, check this out. And I pull out the super cool dagger.
Oh my goodness, that is beautiful.
Can Yasmera walk up at this point?
And it's
Yeah,
got, this
yeah,
is the
that's fair.
sheath that goes to it, but I switched them just in case somebody.
Oh, that's really
decides to
smart.
buy it.
That is really smart.
those away?
Mom is here.
Yaz comes up carrying. You got 2 cases,
Sorry,
right? You
Yaz.
decided.
Yeah.
I
This
was
is for
just
your
getting
goodies.
everything out so we could just get it in and go quickly.
Here are your goodies. Here's swaps.
I got you something.
Thank you.
I hand her
have
the copy. I just show her real quick the copy of the ledger that I was making that I just remembered
Yeah.
us doing.
Thank you. I'm gonna go have your conversation with your contact. Good job. and immediately walks off.
I was supposed to meet with Wolf, but I was locked in the vault, and I figured Yasmera would probably want to do it anyway, so I'm just going to let
You
her
know
do
she
it.
does that. You know she was every time she talks to Wolf, she does that thing with her eyebrow, right?
I know.
Oh yes.
It's like a little.
I know. She thinks that we don't notice it.
It's our job to notice it. Anyway, so I figured I'd let her talk to him.
That's really polite.
She'll
That's
remember
very
more
nice.
of what he said anyway.
Yeah.
Help me put these in the case.
Okay. And I will help
Yeah.
and put the stuff in the cases.
Okay, you begin to load
got
up the cases as
Two
Yaz.
Empress's points. We've got silver bars. I've got the cool dagger. I don't remember if I also took the sword or not.
Gems.
No, you left the sword.
Gems.
Left the sword, but I did get a bunch of gems.
Jams!
Yeah. Yeah, the two of you begin to load things up. Yaz, you head off. Do I want to count that as Yaz's one of Yaz's? Yeah, I'm gonna be as strict as I can with this because y'all been doing so well. Bringing the stuff was one action, so I'm gonna have you make an etiquette roll. Not that it'll matter because it's the last. This is the last hour of the evening, but
17.
17. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, 16.
Oh, so close yet not enough. You get a point of
enough.
ire. As you head back through the ballroom that you've just left, and then skirt into the courtyard, you gather some eyes picking up on your movements. However, Garas and Venehn, the two of you, unload the fakes from the case and begin to load in the real ones. While you are doing this, you hear footsteps coming down the hall in your direction.
Shit.
Inside the armor.
Okay. And I'll go to hide in a suit of armor.
In a suit of, you don't have time to get into a
Aw,
suit of
man.
armor right now.
Okay.
I will put, okay.
But it has a zipper, doesn't it?
Push my horde sort of back into the corner and just duck behind it.
I'll say you got most of it loaded in the, essentially where you are at right now. You are both standing in the entryway to the armory. The hallway goes past the armory. This isn't like a hallway that ends at the armory where this is the only place they could be going. The hallway kind of curves here.
I do want to say, we didn't lock it. We did shut the doors.
Yeah.
So are you inside the armory loading everything in, or are you outside the armory?
No, I
loading
think we're inside.
Yeah, we're inside, yeah.
Okay. And you had closed. Okay, so I'm gonna.
We're not gonna do this out like in the hallway. Like we're gonna load everything up and then leave.
As you are hearing footsteps approaching, the two of you go. I assume you quickly try to close the doors and hide inside. I'm gonna have you both make stealth checks.
That is a 17 for me.
19.
Okay. You both duck inside, doors closed, as you hear two footsteps approaching. One of them, you catch the sound of like heels clicking, and as you have closed the doors, they're not locked, but they are closed. You hear them approaching, and then you hear a bit of like laughter, and then you hear kind of some like hushes, and you still hear somebody outside, but you begin to hear some noises that you probably think are people just sort of macking down right outside the armory doors.
Did they come this far?
I don't know. Why of all places to do this?
I mean, they're not going to like fuck in the hallway. They'll probably leave, right?
I mean, we've all fucked in hallways before.
They're not. I mean, that's not us though. Oh, just wait.
Garrus?
Just wait a minute.
Yeah, just wait a little bit. It's like Garas like goes really slow, just waits until they stop.
It seems to be going on for a while.
Okay, we gotta figure out the way how to get out of here without, drawing suspicion or, interrupting them.
We can try to be very quiet, but if they see us, we need a good lie.
Okay. That's not hard for me.
Well, no, I want you to tell me in advance what the lie is.
Oh, okay.
Don't put me on the spot.
We can say we're doing the same thing as them.
Fucking in the armory.
Yes, fucking in the army. I mean,
Okay.
why else would someone go to
No,
fucking-
yeah.
No, yeah.
That would be a fun. So if I worked here, that would be a fun game, right? Like,
That would be.
like
it
where can
would.
you fuck in the palace and not get caught, right?
I know, right? That would be such a fun game to
The
play,
armory
you
would be a
know?
lot of points.
Oh, that would at least be 100.
Okay. We're gonna be the quietest we've ever been.
Got it.
I am the night. You are the wind.
Got it. Slowly. Step out with them.
Okay. You have your 2 cello cases that you've loaded up with bait,
And we're like so quiet, dog.
and you're both trying to sneak
And
out.
I'm the night and Garas is the wind. And we're so quiet.
Okay. I guess I'll have you both make stealth checks again.
Oh, goodness.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna give you. Okay, you're both carrying heavy cases, though. I am gonna give you with a penalty on your rolls.
How much?
I'll say a -1 penalty for each of you.
Okay. Well, that is going to be 18 then for me because I rolled triple sixes.
Woo! -1.
Yeah.
20.
Just an 18? Do you have nothing on stealth?
Oh, no, wait. No, that's a 20. Yeah, because then it'll be 20. Wait, no. 18 plus 5.
Plus 2.
That's 22 it would be because I have plus 5 for
23.
dexterity.
18 plus 5?
Well,
Yeah,
minus
that's-
1.
-1, still 22. Yeah, just 22.
I got a 20. But
Okay.
I didn't roll as good.
The darkness and the wind.
The darkness and the
night,
wind.
night.
The night.
The night,
The
sorry.
night.
The night and the wind.
You.
Night
That's
wind.
the name of their
Open-
new romance album.
So, yes.
The night and the
Romance
wind
Yes.
by Patrick Rothfuss.
That means it's never going to get written, so stop lying to yourself.
The two of you creak open the door, just silently, like lifting it on the hinges a bit so it doesn't make any noise, and pushing open the gate. You look around the hallway and about like 15 feet down the hallway, not seeming to notice your very slow movements. You see a woman wearing like an elegant ball gown, not somebody that you recognize, one of the like other less notable attendees of the party, and a very handsome serving member of the serving staff. I think it, like, her blouse is down a little bit. He's like kissing on her neck, has his face like buried in her neck as he's like neither one of them are noticing you.
Does
Just
he
give
have a
Garrus
whole bunch of
thumbs
red
up.
wine stains on his? On his
No, this
clothing?
is not Reginald.
Oh damn!
Ah!
Can you make it, Reggie? So you
Okay,
said a
it's
good
Reggie.
night?
All right, yeah, it's Reggie.
Get some, Reggie.
No, yes.
It's like a
Just
silver
creeping.
fox situation.
No, I mean, I hope I'm like that when I get that age.
Are you all actually talking right now? Because they're gonna hear you.
Don't live that long.
Oh, that's true. Just
No, I'm the night and he's the wind. They can't hear us.
Okay. Here's the situation. You creep out. You can close the doors. You're not going to be able to lock them quietly enough. Like, it's going to make noise if you are going to try to lock them again.
Okay. Here's what we do. Take the cases. And we
Right.
just like stick them around the corner. And we come down the hallway like we're going to make out. And then we bully them out of the hallway. And
good
then
idea. Good. Yeah, no, good idea.
Okay. So, just so I understand the plan, the two of you are going to go a little bit down the hallway, leave the cases, and then come back.
like we're going to make out in this hallway. And they're like, oh, fuck, there's people here. And then maybe they'll be like, oh, shit.
Okay.
Because if
I need
she's
to- I
noble
need
and
to
he's a
hear your
servant, they'll
exact
probably
approach.
run.
Because assuming you're going to be making some noise as you come back to approach to scare them off, I need to hear this conversation as it's as you're as you reach again because you rolled very well in stealth. You reach kind of around the bend, put the cases down, and then the two of you turn and begin to head back the other direction.
As soon as we turn the corner, Garas will scoop up Venn in his arms, so that like
This is get help too.
This is get help too. So that Garas and Venn are
Different
face
kind
to
of help.
face, and he just plants a kiss right on his lips as he's carrying him down the hall.
PC kiss number 2.
It tastes like wine.
Can we do a?
Get any
I need
wine.
No, hold on. What do we have here? Performance. Well, no, that's artistic talent. Deception. We'll go with
Look at
deception.
that.
I'm good at that too. Do I also have to
Yep.
roll? I'm not sure what I'm lying about, but
I don't know what I just need one of you to do it.
I'll do it.
okay.
I'll go for the roll. Do these also two people look like nobles too?
One of them does.
So
Okay,
one's
so
a
it'll
noble
be-
and one's a servant. So I'm hoping that if somebody comes across them, they'll be like, "Oh fuck, we can't let anybody see us," and they'll run away.
That will be a total plus 14 to whatever I roll, because I have a
Wait.
focus in deception, and my communication is plus 5. I have a focus in deception that's plus 2 add on top of that, and then I have the daggers, which give me another plus 7 to deceiving and fooling.
They don't give you
nobles.
+7.
I thought it was plus 7. Is it?
No, I think they give you +2.
Oh, plus
the
two,
most
then,
of
yeah.
bonuses go up to are +3.
Then it's still
I thought the daggers were a +4.
this plus 4. Yeah.
Hold on, let me bring up the.
You're
fucking
all just
daggers
saying
again.
numbers right now.
Yeah.
7, 14,
Hold on, let me.
21,
bring up
28.
Unless I'm doing
35.
my math wrong.
Where are the daggers? called again?
77.
Oh no, you're right. It is plus. It is not plus 7.
Plus
I
4.
went big in my brain with math.
You won't roll big in your brain.
It is
The twin blades.
Yeah.
+4. Okay,
plus
yeah,
4.
plus
Okay,
4.
so that is plus
Still a lot.
11. Still
Plus
a lot.
11. Okay.
That's way more than mine.
Yeah.
That is a 23.
I can't wait till you use these daggers to stack.
What are we
somebody,
lying
and then I
about, though?
And then you lose them.
What's
We
why are we lying? What's the lie?
Well, you're trying to
Kiss your
deceive them
bros.
that you are that why you are here essentially.
Okay. It's not that we want to be making out, because that's true.
that's always true, yeah. But it's why we were
We
leaking on
did.
the hallway.
Venehn and Garas invented keep your bros on your on their toes. Kiss your bros goodnight.
Okay, so
Kiss
the two
your
of you
bros
kind of
goodnight.
loudly come in, begin to
I go,
kiss.
ooh!
Yeah.
Extremely loudly.
Yeah, just making a huge show of it.
And you see
And I
the
go like
two of
this.
them. You see the woman kind of like looks in here and she like pats him away, and Reginald jumps back too as they see you, and she kind of lets out a little bit of like a yelp, like pulling her the shoulder of her dress back up, and and she begins to she just starts running down the hallway
Exactly
in
what I
the other
wanted.
direction.
Yep.
And Reginald like looks back at the two of you and just says, God damn it.
I mean,
God
Go get her!
damn it.
go, man, go.
I
Yes.
can't
so-
have one good thing tonight.
Hey,
Who
hey,
are
hey.
you people?
There are so many hallways in this bitch. Go find a better one.
Yeah, this is ours.
Yeah, this one's
I
gross.
mean, unless you're down-
Go find a
unless
nice.
you're-
That's a
Oh,
lady.
you're
Go
the
find a
one who
nice one.
spilled. No, you're not the one who spilled wine on. That was yeah.
I mean,
That was
Uh,
Yaz. We look a little
Okay.
different.
No, that's fine. I couldn't remember if it happened in the ballroom and then Yaz capitalized it back in the kitchens. So
That's a lady.
Uh,
Go find a nice hallway.
Yeah.
Go find a balcony.
um,
We won't.
he just like glowers in your direction and and then goes turns around and goes running off after her.
Sets Venn down.
All right, so y'all relock
Let's
the
lock the
doors.
doors.
Yeah, you don't have to make a check for that. You just do it.
I'm really sad I didn't get any wine or any food.
I know. I was going to try to at least save you a bottle, but I used it as part of my,
No, it's
my
okay.
ploy.
With this much silver, I'll buy myself a bottle of wine.
Yes. And scurries around the corner to grab the
Grab the
cases.
cases and get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Okay. The two of you head back around the corner to grab the cases. Only one of the cases is still there.
Okay, it's only been like 30 seconds.
Mhm.
So I'm listening for footsteps and I'm looking for some shady figure carrying a case around a
All
corner.
right, we're gonna cut over to
Oh,
our
you
others.
turd. Sorry.
Well, it also took you a bit to relock the doors too. That was
Fair.
more than 30
Yeah.
seconds.
I don't know that we would have left them there the whole time we were relocking the
I mean,
doors.
we did say we were doing that, so yeah.
You gotta
Venehn
let
and
me
Garas
interject.
are stupid.
You gotta let me interject some tension at this. This heist has been going so well. Y'all figure it out.
No, yeah, they are
believe in
pretty
you.
stupid. You're right.
Y'all are
We
pretty
may
stupid.
be dumb.
But we're not stupid.
Okay, but we have a couple of things that we can do here. I want to do Yaz's conversation with Wolf first, though. So Yaz, you head out into the courtyard to the location that Venehn had told you initially, or you had to do your etiquette check, right? So you head across and ducking behind some of the hedges. Wolf is already there. Kind of just standing arms crossed, like looking out over the attendees in the courtyard, and notices you. Again, from behind the mask, like you can't make out any facial expression, but head turns in your direction, and you just hear a very soft voice say, "You're late."
I only just heard about this tete-a-tete, so apologies if I wasn't the person you were expecting.
I assume Venehn got tied up in something.
Of course.
Right. Well, did you learn anything interesting?
I learned several interesting things. You first.
I overheard a very interesting conversation between the Duchess and Marquis Mentillion
Oh.
out here in the courtyard earlier this evening. The Marquis seemed very upset about one Marquis Valmont.
Everyone seems to be upset about that asshole.
She seems more upset than most.
Did Garas tell us about... Did we get to reconnect after...
I'm just going to assume that y'all have shared information at
Okay.
some point during the evening. Otherwise, it becomes way too complicated.
Well, he is trying to blackmail her into marrying him.
That would explain a lot, then. Apparently, the Marquis Mentillion has some sort of arrangement with the Chantry. She came out to accept the Duchess's offer for some sort of trade agreement there. I didn't hear much else on the specifics of the contract, but apparently she amended it for the purpose of, I guess, inquiring or using the Chantry resources to launch a formal inquiry into Marquis Valmont.
Good for her.
We'll see. The Duchess seems to have many eyes and ears at this gathering, so I doubt that was her only motivation here tonight.
I would expect nothing less.
All right. What did you learn?
At least one of the Duchess's right hands is a bit of an idiot. But that turned out well for us.
How so?
We were able to feed them dummy information that will aid in our cause this evening.
Well, then it seems like everything's working out. We're able to get the blades.
Yes. Venehn and Garas are working on it right now.
All right. I'll be heading out front to make sure the carriage is in order and ensure that we can leave without any attentions.
Is that all?
Turns to look at you. Was there anything else that I needed to look in on tonight?
I just expected a little more. I had many more tidbits for you, but quid pro quo.
Wolf sort of, again, from behind the mask, you just catch the, like, in the eyes behind the mask, which are like I think in the light, you catch a shimmer of blue underneath the mask, and eyes narrowing. It says, "Well, I had to maintain a much lower profile than the four of you. But if you're planning on keeping information to yourself, then fine."
Spoiled sport.
Out with it already.
Valmont was so curious this evening that he was listening in on the Empress and her higher-ups during their meeting.
Garahel will want to know that.
Garrett.
Nothing.
He didn't get much. He only stayed for a few minutes. But I think it might be enough to work with.
Wanda is here. Yeah. Make a is there a coyness check?
I mean, seduction, but I don't got it.
It'd be communication either way. You're not deceiving, so I don't think it'd be a deception check. Persuasion.
Essentially, I have a +1. Like, all I've got's deception, so it's just a +1. A +2, which with my -1 with my ire is just +1. So here we go. Not bad. 15?
That's pretty good. Wolf, you hear like a sigh. Like turns and yeah, I think Wolf reaches up, grabs onto the bottom of their mask, and pulls it back. And you see the mask kind of as it pulls back, the long, again, they have like very long blonde hair that's in like a ponytail that goes down to almost their waist. And you see a underneath kind of a like a sweat cover, like a sweat beaded brow, a very striking elven figure. You see Dalish markings on their face, tattoos running down across their forehead and down their cheeks, similar to Venon's, but stylistically different. And a very sort of like androgynous look to them, and but very sort of pointed and accentuated features. And they wipe their brow and say, "It's too warm out here tonight."
I'm quite comfortable.
Right, you're not the one in armor.
Not that you can see.
Once you return the carriage, Arno and I will have something to discuss with the four of you, but hold on to that information for now, especially concerning Valmont. How did he seem to take the news when he overheard the conversation?
He smirked like a fucking bastard.
And I assume that the planning did not go well.
Not for Garahel, no.
All right. We'll discuss it more once we're in the carriage.
All right.
Good work, though.
Back at you.
Suppose you have a party to get back to.
I'll be in the kitchens. That's where the real party is.
They reaffix the mask.
She sashays away, feeling very proud of herself.
This is probably the most hardcore flirting Yaz has ever done in their whole life.
I want to know how Yaz feels about the fact that the person she's attracted to looks a lot like Venehn.
Just a
There's no
taller-
monologue tokens in this game, okay?
Blonde, lithe, little, Dalish tattoos.
Look, let's all say it. We're all hot for Venehn in this party, all right?
Yay.
Okay. Jeez.
Okay. You return to the party. While this is happening, Carter, you are in the ballroom. There's a lot of things are being sort of cleaned up. Serving staff are coming around the room, taking up glasses left on tables, and some attendees are gathering and kind of congregating near the exits. However, you notice a lot of the orchestra is also sort of ending for the evening, packing up and like winding down to there's just a few playing a small string quartet as the rest kind of gather up their belongings as the dancing has very officially ended for the night. And while most of the court musicians are heading off to some of the servants' passages, you do notice one figure moving amongst the crowd, heading in a different direction, carrying a large cello case.
Do I recognize it?
They just look like one of the attendees for the evening.
No, the case.
Oh, the case.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like one of the it looks identical to the cases that y'all brought.
Okay, then that's super, super bad. So I'm immediately going to move to intercept them.
Okay. So just directly moving towards them.
Yeah, I'm going to walk right up to them and reach out for the case and say, "Thank you. That belongs to my friend Lord Arlo. I'll be making sure to return it to him."
I'm going to have you roll. I think etiquette is the perfect role here.
Sweet. Please be good to me, baby. That's a lot better. How about a 14?
Okay. The this staff member who, as you approach, is they're not wearing any sort of you can't, like, they don't have any sort of embellishment or anything on them that would indicate who they are with, and I don't think you've really clocked them. Maybe you've recognized them moving around a little bit this evening, but you aren't necessarily sure whose group they're with. But they clearly like stop and they look a bit like they look very concerned as you have intercepted them, and they begin to stammer and say, I need to return the
Do not worry. I'm sure it is very easy to mistake one instrument case for another. There is no need to apologize, but I can assure you, and he grabs the case. I recognize this.
You grab the handle of the case as they're holding it, and I think there's a moment where they're like holding onto it too, as you are now sort of standing in front of them, and there are like a couple of people around the ballroom who are like noticing this exchange as well, and you see them kind of looking around and realizing they are not in a position of power because you have the presence that you have given tonight is that of a comte and one of Arlo's friends, and as there's there's a bit of a tug on it, and then they let go of it as you take the case away from them, and they say, right, my apologies, I must have grabbed it by mistake.
You have done very well this evening. You are all to be commended on your efforts to provide us with a wonderful evening. As I said, no harm is done. Now, please, be on with your duties.
Yes, my lord. And gives like a very stiff bow and then walks off very briskly away from you.
I want to try to remember as many details about this person as possible.
Okay, yeah, you can do that. Yeah, I'd say they, I mean, human, probably in their early 30s. They had very they had short cut hair that I think you noticed as you were up close to them is a little like kind of choppier and less like well like coiffed as some of the other like musicians and stuff around here. And as you were sort of clocking them and speaking, you could barely make out underneath their collar. You couldn't see the design of it, but you could make out like a slight bit of like a tattoo that was poking out from underneath their collar.
Okay.
But yeah, they rush off. But
Okay.
you have secured the other case. I think at that same time, maybe Venehn, because I know Venehn and Garas, the two of you are going to be like heading back to try to search for this person. You can see like up the stairs near the foyer. You can see Venehn and Garas probably like rushing around the corner carrying the other case.
I'll make eye contact with them briefly and then start heading for the door.
Okay. Were there any other actions anyone wanted to take before the evening ends?
While we're ahead.
Yep.
Yeah.
You have both the cases. You move up to reconvene with the others. Yeah, I assume as you come in from the courtyard and are coming up to meet them as well.
Sure.
Okay. And while all of you are kind of gathering in the same place, maybe not conversing with each other, like maintaining like an adequate distance, considering that you all have your own covers that you've sort of established throughout the evening. To at least Carter, Arlo comes up the stairs and approaches and says, "Well, I'm quite tired now. Should we leave?"
I believe now would be an excellent time.
Wonderful. Then let's adjourn for the evening. and you four begin head out the front doors. You step out into the evening air. Carter carrying one case.
I'll take the case from the compt. That seems appropriate.
Okay, you take the case from Carter, and either Venehn or Garas carrying. I assume Venehn carrying it
Yeah.
since Garas is maintain the air.
A Duke, I think.
I let
Duke.
Venehn like go ahead far ahead of me, and then like kind of like differentiate myself from the group to kind of maintain the Duke persona, and then make my way out.
Yeah, I'll take the case and sort of fall in step with Yaz.
Okay. You step out into the night air. There are carriages gathered, people departing the gala. You see a number of people like bidding farewells for the evening, and servants helping slightly inebriated guests up into their carriages. You can see Arlo and is sort of leading you to the carriage you came in on over near the edge where you imagine Wolf was probably waiting inside. As you leave, though, I'd like everyone to make perception checks.
Seeing?
Yeah, perception seeking. Sorry.
That's
21.
a 12.
14.
21 for Yaz, 14 for Venehn. What were the other two?
I got a 12.
12.
11.
11. Okay.
Also, if my 21 failed for any reason, if I fail a perception check, I can re-roll it and keep the second roll.
Oh,
Nice. No, I think the 21 is more than enough. The two of you notice that seeming to have probably been out here. Oh, sorry, Venehn and Yaz.
Oh, sweet.
Venehn and Yaz, the two of you notice that seeming to probably have already been out here and planning on departing a bit earlier, given their bad news that, as you know, that they've received. You see Garahel and Asaya having entering their carriage. Both of you also notice, it's weird, there is a streak of along like the back corner of their carriage, kind of just like brushed along the back corner. It's a rather ornate carriage and seems to be in good condition. However, there's a streak of like paint that is sort of brushed around the back of it, like haphazardly, just as sort of like maroon paint. And while both of you notice that, as you're heading to your carriage, and it maybe like strikes you as odd because it seems out of place, you are making your way to yours, and currently pulled up kind of to the front of the gala. I think Yaz especially, you would notice, and this just Yaz notices, the clicking of a cane, and moving up to their own carriage. They are escorted up into by their driver. You see Valmont is helped into his carriage with his bad leg, and you notice that the driver, who is currently helping him inside, as he steps back and closes the doors, is walking around to the front of the carriage. You see a few like stains of a similar paint on his boots.
Belmont's driver marked Garahel's carriage.
Why would they do that?
Is that what that
They're
was?
in danger. Get them out of the carriage right now.
I drop. Oh, he knows me. I drop the case, get the case loaded, whatever, and I'm just gonna run over.
Their
to...
carriages are Garahel's carriage is already left.
No.
They got in their carriage already, and they're leaving, heading south.
We have to catch them. I turn to Arlo. They are in danger.
Arlo
The
looks
carriage
to
has
you and
been
says,
marked.
Who's in danger?
Garahel. The carriage was marked by Valmont's driver.
Okay.
They're going to be attacked. We have to find them now.
Quiet. All right. Get everybody in. And all of you load in as Arlo kind of steps up to the driver that is leaving the carriage and whispers to them. The driver turns and gives a nod, and all of you load in the back. The door shuts and the carriage begins to move forward. There's a couple of others that are out, so it's kind of that awkward, like, they're a bunch of cars leaving, kind of waiting your turn to be able to go before your carriage heads off at a pretty steady clip.
Yes, we are putting our cargo at risk.
They may be more important.
We should help them. If we have information that their lives are in danger, we should do something.
Yeah, and what are we going to do to save a couple of fucking famous assholes?
I have no
If we lose the shit that we have.
The Arlo is in there, and Wolf is in there too. And Arlo sort of leans in and says, "Why do you believe that they're in danger?"
Howard just mocked. I know people who've done such things. You mark the carriage for someone else further down the road to know which one it is. The same paint was on Valmont's driver's boot.
You think Valmont is the one that did it?
Valmont is a complete creep, of course.
The snake and the viper, of course it would probably be him.
Arlo leans back and looks over to Wolf, and then looks out the window and says, "Oren, we should catch up with them pretty quickly."
I just want to go on record saying this is stupid. This is stupid to do this right now.
He's literally the only thing keeping the blight out right now.
Him and the
not gonna
hundreds
get-
of other wardens that are actually on the front line.
Well, not for long.
Unless anybody else has anything to say, the carriage kind of races south through Halamsharal, following the southern road out of the city, and as the carriage is rushing forward, kind of rattling a bit as it does, as the driver moves you as quickly along the cobblestone road as they dare through these city streets, and then finally you kind of catch that bump of hitting dirt road on the main road heading south, and as the carriage is heading forward, all of you obviously having the best view currently are just kind of darkness and moonlight outside. As you are rushing for probably a few minutes, not terribly long, you feel the carriage begin to slow, and then it as it comes to almost a stop, the driver opens the visor between, and you hear him say back to Arlo, says, "My lord, there's something wrong up ahead. I see fire. What do you want me to do?" And Arlo it kind of looks like blanches a bit at this and says, looks to all of you for some sort of action that you wish to take.
We must see if they are alive.
I don't do fire.
Are there other horses, any riders with our carriage, or is it literally like all of Arlo's retinue is us and like a driver?
It's just you and a driver, yeah.
Do you have a saddle? Ask Arlo.
The horses are saddled, I believe.
I'll poke my head up through the driver. Would one of these horses be strong enough to finish the trip?
As you kind of poke your head out the front and ask this, the driver who's come to stop, you get a good view since you can see out in front of the carriage, and you can see probably about maybe about 50 yards ahead. As the carriage is still moving, but it's moving a little bit slower now. You can see the another carriage in front of you that appears, the back half of it appears to be on fire, but the carriage is at a weird angle, like it has sort of fallen into a rut almost. And
Could you say those last couple sentences again? My internet
sure.
was jumping out on me.
No, it's okay. You see the like half of the like the back corner of the carriage appears to be on fire, and the carriage is at a weird angle, like it seems to have fallen into like a rut or something in the road. And you can hear like the whinnying of horses as well in the distance. And the driver says, "Sir, I can get this ready. If you, I'll bring the carriage up here." And he is cut off as you hear a swoop, and then an arrow is now protruding from the driver's chest as he slumps over, and the carriage kind of pulls a bit to the side as the horses slow down. The whole carriage kind of comes to a stop just off the road, the horses having lost their direction.
I pull out my bow, and I look at my friends, and I say, "Congratulations, we've ridden into a trap." And
Let's go kill them.
gonna throw open the door.
Yep.
Grab my concealed crossbow. We're doing this shit on foot.
As you all pour out from the carriage, a wolf looks to, as Arlo starts to get up. Wolf puts a hand on Arlo and just shakes their head, says, "No, you stay here." And the four of you and Wolf come rushing out of the carriage, and you can see in the distance, standing atop the hill, you see a number of figures sort of shrouded in darkness, as well as a few more that seem to be near the carriage. As they all draw their attention towards you, one of them a bow that they have lowered as they see you. And as you all prepare to do battle, I'm afraid that's probably where we should stop our game for the night.
3 more hours.
Venehn is so pissed.
Because I don't think
Venehn
we
is
have
so
time.
mad.
Venehn was not wrong.
Venehn is not wrong at all.
No.
No,
Not at all.
not wrong at all. No.
He is so mad. You are all gonna hear it later.
Okay.
So,
But then you're gonna have Garahel as a best friend. So, you know.
I don't give
That's
a
it,
shit
Garahel is-
about Garahel.
the good
Your
news
employer
is,
does.
You are all gonna hear it from me later.
the good news is that if you all lose your loot, that probably means you're dead. So, you know, it'll be fine.
Venehn is gonna have some things to say.
That, but yeah, that's what we're gonna.
It's the second time you all have made him confront
G-
something that's on fire.
G calling me out in the chat. The old shoot the carriage driver trick.
Love it.
Hey,
Get their
it works
ass.
if you need them to stop and fight something. So,
Get him.
100%.
yeah, that there's no end of session questions. We'll
Nope.
just do our normal stars, and I'll put on some less creepy music here.
Please.
Let's go back to let's go to relaxing green nature.
Ah, yes.
All right, good session, everyone. Yeah, we're ending a bit early, so we've got plenty of time to do our stars and wishes. So let's go ahead and do those. We'll just go in order.
Sure.
Just do that.
I can go.
Van, you go first.
Yeah, my star is going to go to Koi Yasmera. Because I love it.
Ooh, me?
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love seeing the different sides of Yasmera. It's very fun because they're all very purposeful. And yeah, it's just fun to see more of her. And I'm excited to see what happens when Venehn is mad at her.
She's seen worse.
Lovely.
You haven't met her mother yet, so.
Yeah, but we haven't seen that side of her. And I think it's going to be really
No.
fun. But no, it was really well played. And I really enjoyed it. And my wish is it can't just be murder.
Who says?
I am always, this might be the trigger, since we're just running again into a figurative and literal fire. I think the aftermath of this is gonna be a good opportunity for some more Venehn backstory that you guys haven't got yet. So that's my wish. That's my wish. Is a little bit of a Venehn take the stage.
I gave you an elf friend to talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, buddy.
Which, to be fair, that had been planned since the beginning. We just
Yes,
finally got to
I,
it.
I want someone to hear the rest of this backstory.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Van. Yaz, are you up next?
Yeah. My star has to go to Carter for that clutch, like pulling rank and literally yanking the fucking case out of this dude's hands. Yes. The rolls were not necessarily with you all the way tonight, but goddamn, it came in the clutch. So, yes, hell of a choice to grab etiquette for sure. It came in fucking handy. Hell yes, loved it. Love when the dice finally tell a story. Great. And I can't wait for more proper Carter moments. I'm very much looking forward to it. So, my wish. I mean, you gave me my wolf wish, so there was that. I appreciate it.
There are several wolf wishes that I've written down that I've been able to check off because of you finally getting to talk with them one-on-one.
I think my wish. Okay, we already have that we all want to have dinner with Garas' dad, so I don't need to include that. We've gotten that done. I really want y'all to see Yaz's mom or her dad. I don't know. Maybe we'll get him up in this shit. Who knows? But yeah, speaking of seeing different sides of Yaz, I think bringing your parents into the mix definitely helps with
More
that.
family dinners.
Yeah.
Y'all always manage to get my games going this way, and I don't know how this keeps happening to me. Next game I run, I demand that all of your parents be dead.
If it helps, I only have one parent, so.
Oh man. Well, again, she has. I have no idea where my father is, so there's that. But anyway,
No comment.
So yeah, honestly, just looking forward to more backstory in general. Because all y'all are mysterious as fuck, and I can't wait to figure out more of your shit. So, Yasmera included. So yeah.
Love it. Thank you, Sid.
Thank you.
Wally.
My star goes to Van for that hardcore Garas and Ven antics, because we always just talk about it. Like, it's always implied that they have like done antics like this, but this is the first time that we actually did it, and it was just such this great moment of role play of like, we got to do this, we have to do this, and it ended up exactly how I thought it was going to end up, because as soon as Van said we're going to take the cello cases and put them around the corner, in my brain I was like, that was going to have one of those cases get taken away, or either both cases. That was instantly went off in my brain. I was like, nope, we're still going through with this, because Garas is a dum-dum and he would not think about that either. So it's kind of like a double star to both of you for initiating the hijinks and Val making the perfect outcome from the hijinks, because hijinks.
As soon as y'all said we're gonna stash those cases somewhere, I was like, I'm gonna have somebody take one.
I loved it so much. Like, as soon as we said that, my brain was like, one of them is gonna get taken. I know it. Either one of them or both of them are gonna get taken. And you delivered properly. So stars to both of you. My wish. We already said I want Valmont to suffer. I already said that, but I want to have a moment where Garas has to tell his dad what his lifestyle is now, because I don't think he's aware that Garas is a thief. Because the last time they talked, all they said was, "Oh, you have an actual real job this time," and he's like, "Yeah, I do." But there's no communication that he's been a thief this entire time, trying to support him. So I think that I feel like kind of like adding to the family dinner. I feel like it's going to come out either by accident, or Garas is going to be honest to his father about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to happen, and I'm really curious to see how his dad will react to his lifestyle as a thief.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you, Wally. Sita.
All right. Tonight, I'm giving a triple star out because there was this moment where all three of you, it started off with the, "Would you two be quiet?" And then the dual reaction, the faces on Venehn and Garas were like, that was just the best. It was comedy in motion. I love that out of all three of you. Oh shit, we're busted. Like, it was just great. My wish is, I was thinking about this a couple of days ago, because I always struggle with wishes so much, but I thought of one that I think would be really cool. At some point in the campaign, I want to have a bare knuckle brawling match with like a Kunari or an ogre or something way outside of my weight class.
I mean, Yaz will fight you like any day.
No, I mean like a real like smashing faces. If it was an anime, there'd be a lot of spitting blood, you know.
You can do it to my mom's second in command. No.
Yeah. I will say right now.
I mean, I was kind of figuring you'd probably want to beat the shit out of him, but like if you're not into it,
I'll say right now, without spoiling anything else, I have the perfect scenario for that, and I was planning something very similar. So it's good to know we're on the same wavelength. So I'm happy about that. Awesome. Well, that's gonna be it, everyone. Good stuff, and
we heisted.
We did. Y'all did successfully heist. You got through my Winter Palace puzzle. Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that went so much better than I could have ever anticipated. Y'all rolled so good.
We had some sick fucking rolls, yo.
Yeah.
Holy
So
shit.
there's a lot less death than I expected.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry. I'm sure it's coming.
Well, I was like, before we started, I was just like wondering how it might go down, and I'm like, God, how often are we gonna have to hide bodies? Yeah.
There was the chance that things could have gone really bad, but y'all kept doing things in really interesting, but avoiding any sort of like consequences way. Like, y'all did a really good job of that. I mean, even point in order, like at the end, Carter intercepting my attempt to steal one of the cases because I was expecting maybe some magic stuff or something that could have gone like bad and could have led to some bad consequences, but just like walking up in the ballroom and saying like, "Oh, hey, that's mine." I was like, well, fuck me. There's nothing I can really do about that. I gotta respect the fiction, and that it does not make sense that they would be like, "No, it's mine," and then run away. So it was y'all followed the fiction really well and made good use of it. So I was expecting also a lot of killing people and hiding bodies in closets. But yeah.
No, we just tricked them into going into a closet and then locked them in.
Extremely low chaos.
Yeah. I mean, I specifically put Aden and Remy in a solo situation, assuming y'all would try to like knock him out or kill him or something. To take
we're trying to frame him.
Yeah, I know. Well, I was expecting more combat, and y'all did it in a really good way that didn't involve taking those kind of risks. So it was great.
Hey man, you made a great situation. You described it eloquently.
Yeah.
It was like you gave us the opportunity to do exactly that.
Also, those daggers were clutch.
Yeah, those daggers are
Fuck
clutch,
yes.
and I will say that's probably the most use you're gonna get of them
Yup.
in a single situation.
I had a feeling after this I will not be able to use them anymore. So,
use
I already
them
have
well.
plans of what I'm gonna do with those daggers. So
No, there will still. I mean, if you hold on to them, and there will still be plenty. There will still be chances to use them. But I realized after giving it to you is like, well, I'm putting you in the situation where you're going to be able to use them on like every roll because everyone here is a noble. Your next heist will probably not be against nobility. Well, at least not. There's stuff. Well, I've got plans, so we'll talk about it. But yeah. That is going to be it for tonight, and look at us ending on time. Thank you everyone out there for watching. Like I said previously, our next, well, there should be a stream tomorrow for Tabletop Tuesdays. Should be playing a video game or something, so keep an eye on our Discord and our Twitter for updates on that. If you want to see us do more TTRPG streams, our next one will be on Thursday. We'll be back with Elegant Creatures at 7 o'clock Eastern Time to finish up our Elegant Creatures campaign before we move on to whatever is next, which we know, but you don't. So stay tuned for that. Thank you to my lovely cast as always for
Thank you for the game.
making this a joy to run, and
Again,
really
shout out to Val. This was such a cool
So
mechanic
great.
system. You ran
Yeah.
it so fucking cool. It was
Mhm.
great.
now I'm gonna be exploiting the hell out of it for every scenario going forward because it worked out so well. So that's gonna be it. Thank you everyone out there for joining us and engaging in the chat, and we will see you in 1 week. And until next time, good game. Hi Sita's mom, and good night.
Bye,
everyone.
bye, see you, mom.
Par-delà le temps, la menace grandit. Si loin dans le silence, on entend ses cris. Par-delà les terres, son nom fait frémir. Préparez-vous, le néant arrive. Les légendes ne se trompent point, de la peur ils se nouent.